Hello.
The light attack.
Hello, the meeting is down over here. If you're here for the meeting.
No, we're here for the tea.
All these
I'll take the lemon one.
Drinks are down in the arena in the middle. Everybody's just up there in the, you know.
I see.
They're just over there.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know.
All those lights.
First time. It has changed a lot.
This has so much stuff.
Oh, so this is the arena.
Supposed to bring one off each house. Or if you're alone, then you shall.
One of each house is what we requested. We were told to bring a
Hello.
head of
Oh, wow.
ours or representative,
Fair enough.
and then like 2 people extra if you wanted.
Oh boy.
Alright, fair enough.
Hi, Leander.
Hello.
I know that we have some additional people that are still likely on their way. But I did want to start by saying that I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and giving us your ear. I feel the time that we're at right now is kind of a dangerous time. And as we've seen the last couple times that we've had this Titan rolling through,
I was
there
told
were a
it's
lot
not
of
a
injuries
titan.
that could have been avoided.
A giant it's supposed to be.
So our hope here is that
People
we can
really
all
need to
come
be
to a
consistent with
consensus as
what
to
they're
how we
saying.
can move forward as a people united in the goal of aiding the gods however we can, while keeping far enough out of the way to prevent them from doing what they need to do.
Are you
There have
taking
been some-
suggestions now?
There have been some good ideas, and I can share those with you, but I'd like to wait till we get just a few more people here.
Alright, in that case, we're just gonna chill.
See. Everybody in? Come on over to the side here.
Who are we talking to here?
I see. Oh, hello.
Epialtes?
Greetings.
I mean Epiales? Epi?
Greetings.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hi, Mom.
All right. The commander back here yet?
I just saw him in the grass up there.
Being slow.
Alright. Be right back.
Hmm.
Oh, seems I'm not the only one with one of these bows.
Why would you?
Okay.
Sorry, we're late, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. Miriam, is there any way you could check with the commander and see if he can make his way down here?
I'll go.
Thank you.
Yeah, same here, Stormy. I'm eating my yogurt right now. That's why I'm muted.
I heard Miriam, but cannot see Miriam.
She's right across from me.
On the ledge.
She's above you.
Above you and to your left.
Hi.
I near him.
Oh,
There she is.
you did not have to get down.
I'm not getting down.
How are you doing, Miriam?
Good.
Brain potassium.
I found the green juice.
I am jealous of you immensely.
There's a bunch of alcohol down in the box.
Do not
Anybody
worry.
Be careful
It's-
about drinking green liquid. Last time I did, I started peeing green.
Oh.
That's clearly not healthy.
No, it was unstable substance.
Don't do that, dummy.
So you decided to drink unstable substance. It did not have a foul odor.
He's not the only one that's done that. I know
I
it's
Not
starting
have
to
a
work
foul
out some
odor.
thing.
I'm not understanding this.
Right.
I
Well,
imagine
that
it is
is
like asparagus.
in
but
the
stronger.
bloody name. We don't
Unstable
drink
substance.
something that is unstable.
Why would anyone drink that kind of stuff?
Doctor's
don't
orders.
Why not?
Chris,
Have you tried it?
What do you mean?
Exactly, Stormy. And any suggestions I had was like, what? No. So I'm kind of keeping my mouth shut here because I already told them what we should do. We should form a shield wall,
So
My
lucky.
turn.
All right.
and fight
See
the
that
Titan
big
with everything
bright
we have.
White mask coming through.
Yep.
And that these people die, you know, in
Very good.
gloriously in battle. I think it was pretty Spartan of me to suggest. But you
Commander?
know, these wannabe Spartans,
Mhm.
they
It's you.
probably
All right.
have other ideas.
Thank you all again for coming. I know that this is kind of an unusual time for us to have this kind of a conversation, but this is what the intention is. This will be a conversation. This will be us coming together and having a general rule of engagement.
And
So
drunk
we know
sounds.
how not to have unnecessary casualties and drain all of our healers of everything that they have after the fight is completed.
Yeah,
So
I like
as
the
per
idea about
some
throwing rocks.
suggestions, Tide, if you're willing, our conversation the other day, do you mind recounting the initial thoughts?
Well, as far as I remember, our general rule of thumb going forwards was that we were going to try and separate people into certain regiments that will deal with the encounter in certain ways.
Mel.
To avoid crossfire and potential friendly fire. And to give the gods as much time and space as they need. From what I remember, we said that those of a magical or ranged proficiency would be the ones to deal with assisting the gods because they could do this from a range, as is the nature of what they do. And those who are more martially trained will be dealing with the spawn of whatever Typhon brings with him. And those who can heal, mend, and triage are to be taken to a point in which we can set up a triage unit, something that is both movable and relatively comfortable for those who have been injured. We don't want another occurrence of the crowbar being completely saturated with the wounded. We need somewhere they can be dealt with and potentially either put back on the field or taken somewhere more permanent to deal with the greater of the injuries.
If everyone a bow?
The last time was a clusterfuck, and that is to put it lightly.
Do you have any idea of where Typhon will land, so to speak, so we can figure out where exactly would be the best place
Which
to put
internal
such a thing?
strategy can we boil down to? Don't attack the big scary primordial force of destruction
That is the purpose why we
yourselves.
have
Leave it to the
most
gods.
mobile,
Yeah, and provide support fire,
smaller
basically.
tent units, if you will.
And healing.
We have a bag up front at Milithos that we will show, which contains the most basic supplies. 1 or 2 tents, beds, medical supplies. We would recommend to have those at hand if needed, so that we can set up anywhere.
Alright.
Additionally, one of the components that we had been discussing is finding the fastest, most fleet-footed among us to spread the word to each house to call to arms. Because as before, when the trumpet rolled out, we had no idea what was going on or where. So I think it would be beneficial to have that sort of call to arms.
There was also the subject of nominating a single person for each of these regiments to be calling the orders. You can imagine when Typhon rears its head again, there are going to be a lot of voices trying to deliberate what is going to be happening.
Oh
I
boy.
believe having a single voice over a dozen would better organize things for us and prevent confusion.
Given the spread that tends to happen, especially as gods of their height tend to move a lot, there was a thought that Crixus provided, actually, that I thought was pretty beneficial. Crixus, do you mind to elaborate on the idea of smaller groups?
You mean the battle groups?
Yes.
Basically, it would work like this. We would separate the people willing to fight into 3 separate battle groups, each equipped with a vanguard, your mid-range combatants, and your archers and mages, with healers of course. Each regiment would be commanded by a single person, that one voice we were talking about a second ago. This would allow that orders to be given quickly and precisely, so that we may move to engage wherever these monsters appear, because they will. Fact of the matter is, I've been walking around, and it would seem that some people are oblivious that this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yes.
And where.
Yeah, quite unfortunate.
So an accurate plan needs to be had so that we can avoid losses. However, I cannot guarantee that there will not be any losses. However, it is in our power to mitigate that. That is what we are here for today. These 3 regiments, taking on wherever needed, etc.
Thank you. So these are the plans, and the overall goal here, to remind everyone, is just for us to disseminate this information to our houses and to kind of reach an agreement to how we can engage where we don't lose lives. Because
Stormy,
I've grown to love
basically,
these lands,
the plan doesn't really matter. What matters is spending this time to plan, you know, the RP that leads up to it. We have these military groups that, you know, it makes sense to actually plan and try to minimize the casualties. Even though in the end it will be a clusterfuck anyway. It's still nice, you know, that we congregated here together and we're trying to somehow put something reasonable together.
This is war. We are going to lose people, but of course we want that to be less. I'm not going to agree to anything stupid.
Fair enough. So, to that effect, Does anybody have any suggestions that would help mitigate loss of life?
Oh, I do have a suggestion, if I may.
Go ahead.
You see, if there is a strong enemy in great numbers, there is really only one way how to defeat them. We need to find a narrow corridor and lead them to it, where their numbers would count for nothing!
Shut up, shut
No.
up, shut
Or
up, shut up, shut up.
perhaps,
Shut up.
perhaps kick them into a pit.
That works too!
This is the dumbest thing I've heard.
It's not without its merits.
Actually quite smart.
I don't think it's smart at all.
Aegeus, Estaio, and I actually came up with a possible
I had to, guys, I'm sorry.
of some sort. A place where we can potentially, if the circumstances are right, lure any of the larger creatures into an area that will provide us pre-established either ordnance, traps, or whatever have you, to dispatch them. So, as silly as it sounds, the concept, at the very least, of having some kind of ambush zone fundamentally isn't that bad.
Hell yeah.
I very much like the idea of an ambush. We'll need an enticing target, though.
Actually, who was there for the Diavi situation?
Vile inbred swine!
It's the obvious situation.
Yes, there was
When everybody.
several.
Okay, well, whenever people were making moves against them, not only was Milithos making the moves, but we already pre-established making explosives.
Oh my god.
In-
Why?
We have a whole quantities amounts of explosive jars and Alarican fire barrage and Alarican barrels.
I suppose
Right.
that works so long as Typhon is by himself.
We even have, and we could possibly make trebuchets, but they're right now in the possession of Perry. Is that correct?
Oh my god. Perry, out of all people. You're right, it's a fucking hyena.
I believe that might act as our artillery of sorts,
Oh,
or setting up some kill zones.
And if you hit Zeus.
Well, we're going.
On that point, actually, before we get any further, I wanted to relay Nasus's suggestions, as he could not be here for the council. He suggested that the gods
Right.
should be the ones
Right,
to
Kel.
handle Typhon. As he is the lord of monsters, it will be very apparent that he will bring monsters with him. We should focus there, instead of bothering Typhon himself, in lieu of accidentally.
The person who drank
whatever
fucking
Zeus
alcohol.
has planned.
We wanna strangle
Actually,
them.
not a bad idea.
Yeah, no.
That the ordnance that we can provide will do anything at all.
Now, that is
Yeah.
something I would actually make mention of. From what we saw from our last encounter, Typhon is not entirely immune, but very resistant to small arms, ergo small weapons like swords, blades, and arrows. However, he has been proven to be at least less resistant to magic. Magic does have a noticeable more and larger effect on him, though if you are forced to engage Typhon, try and stick to magic if you can. If you don't have magic, fall back or have an enchanted blade at hand. Again, this is in the event that you are forced into encounter.
And if you will, consider this. You have a group of fighters that are throwing their arms downrange and effectively shoving Typhon in the direction that the gods are pushing him towards. As he goes, you know that he's going to send monsters after those that are attacking him. And as that happens, that's where the rest of us come into play. Marshall will stand and marshal. We will be the bulwark that protects our casters and our healers. And the healers will keep everybody alive as much as possible.
Do we have any idea what kind of creatures he will be summoning, though?
We do not.
That's why we were planning to have the traps for those bigger ones.
We must also realize that a large majority of this is going to be adaptation. That's why there needs to be some sort of organization.
Exactly. There's only so much we can pre-prepare for this. The most we can do is get our bearings and at least try to bring what we can to bear at the given time.
If I may,
Bring is everything you have.
what we need is a strong backup plan. If none of this works, we need to try something unconventional. I propose seduction.
What?
Where is he?
You're more than welcome to swing your willy at him.
I volunteer Vasilios.
in charge of
He's
that.
not good with seduction, trust me. Don't serious.
I said I volunteer Vasilios.
He's behind me, Thana.
No, just leave.
Theodoros, I swear to you, you are so lucky I cannot find you, because if I could, I would put my blade in you for your stupidity. Shut up. This is war. Shut up for once in your life.
This meat's looking pretty good right now.
Stupid. As if we're not going to die or something. Shut up.
I think he
Stop
just
shit
to
on
play
Bill.
with the tentacle.
Thanks,
I think
Advorix.
that is what it is. It is a bit of a fetish thing, you know.
A fetish thing. Go play with yourself if you want to do this.
Anyway.
Well, that
Get
escalated.
back to order, please.
No one votes for seduction.
As far as the plan goes, that is what we are trying to establish, something base, something that we can rely on that will filter into the adaptation with the battle groups.
Come on.
As I mentioned before,
I had to throw them at least a little bit.
to react quickly to different lines of defense, go where needed, etc. instead of everyone running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Yes,
Will we
Van.
be getting any? Will we be getting any support from Hades, or any support from the underworld?
Dana is feisty every day.
There has been no
Fair.
communication with Hades since, but since our first foray into the underworld, he did say he would at least be speaking to Zeus. So there is a chance at the very least.
Well, someone did get his blessing. Let's hope that turns out the way it turns out.
As far as logistics go, I believe Typhon will logically be trying to aim for the gods themselves, perhaps their temples. Those are, in my mind, very rich and very vulnerable targets.
If he can get rid of the gods, then we're basically a walking cake for him.
Exactly.
Or what, defend the temples?
Yes, if that's the case, then we sort of already have a line, if you will, of where he would go. And if that's the case, if we are breaking people into groups like that, then we already have our front lines and our places of defense.
That is the idea behind the battle groups, yes. To organize them more quickly. So that, well, once this happens, we can react quickly to wherever we need to go.
Now, with that being said, the way these battle groups will be formed is with each house that is willing to fight and their members that are willing to fight. We would talk with them separately, figure out their strengths and weaknesses, and put them in battle groups accordingly. You know your battle group,
I think, well, if I may, I also think that we also need to establish some sorts of formations or organization. In battle, chaos is usually the worst enemy of those that are attempting to do anything, really.
That is exactly the purpose behind what we are talking about here.
And
Well-
you'd better hope Eris doesn't show up.
Oh god.
True.
Why did you have to say the name?
The fact of the matter is that I also realize that many people have different specialties. I think that those with shields might go well with those that use spears. Kind of like a phalanx, one might say.
Did someone just say phalanx?
Yes, Theo, I said phalanx.
Mm.
The fact of the matter is that I think that even if we don't necessarily all fight as houses, we need to at least find out which styles complement each other. I, for one, know that since my primary weapons are the claws, I know that I have to jump in head first, so I need to find a way to be able to complement with other people so that I don't end up hitting my own teammates.
And I would say then, in that case, if we prearrange by who's here and who is associated to the groups here, the groups who will be going to these certain areas, these 3 battle groups of ours, if we prearrange them, then maybe we could have those groups talk amongst themselves about what they believe would be the best course of action for engagement, what their strengths, what their weaknesses are. And if there are some missing on the day, well, at least they still know who they're working with.
I think that's what Crix has just said, yes.
What about prioritizing targets?
Leave that to the person calling the shots.
Yes.
They'll tell you what to do.
Right. Sorry, I've never been in a war before.
Alright, well, I would just like to say, if we're on the topic of who would be fit for what, I can tell you this right now, as my house, as you would call it, we can promise
Just
that
go
maybe
everything till there isn't anyone
3 or
in the
4
way.
fighters.
Hell yeah! Now
Most
we're
of us
talking,
are
Kel.
just healers and such. So I don't know how
Don't
much.
say just healers. We will have dedicated use for healers in particular. During and after the fight, you are much needed.
That's fine.
I also-
We start Spring's aim as well. We will. I will be defending the healers, but
Hey Betty.
in whatever capacity.
What do you mean just woke up and I'm missing the meeting?
Healing
It's
is
fine.
priority.
You can check the wall.
Indeed. We will need
Right.
much of that.
And others will tell you in
Yes,
chat.
I also bear a I also bear a message from Mangold. They will not be joining in combat, but they will be sending healing supplies and healers, possibly.
Mango?
Understood. And speaking of
I
healers,
love
that is the
mangoes.
4th component to these 3 battle groups. A mobile triage shall be established by a single house. I personally would like to nominate Starspring, as they have their apothecary and experience in such matters.
Mango, I know.
Now, this is all assuming that everyone here agrees on the plan of splitting the lads into quick reaction battle groups.
In a very loose term, sort of like a neighborhood watch.
Very loose indeed.
Oh boy.
Now, I know that this may sound crazy, but what if there's a possibility of flying targets, or targets that may try to sneak around any kind of defenses?
We can always
It still holds true.
Yes. We can always talk about the routine, but as I said, this fight is going to be a lot of
Oops, sorry.
adaptation.
Yep.
I think it boils
Yes.
down that everyone knows what their task is at the day. We cannot plan any battle moves or any tactics right now, but what we can plan is each group providing a certain amount of healers, certain amount of fighters, and that these people know what their task is, that they don't have on the day to figure that out and have to look, whom do I respond to, whom do I belong to. These things can be figured out beforehand, and they cut down a lot of reaction time once needed.
Yep. And if there's a particular person in your neighborhood, as I'd put it, that we all know to rally to, then maybe we can, again, cut down on reaction time.
On that note, I would actually like to point out where we have actually noted Typhon appearing. More often than not, it's been somewhere close to water. So, by that, we can potentially deduct
I thought the
general
first
area
time
that he might
Typhon
occur
and Zeus
next.
fought was in the desert.
If we go by temples, Poseidon's temple would be probably a prime target.
Precisely my assumption.
Okay. Now, as for rough field strategy, let's see, who do I have here? Aegis, Thana, Indira, Tide, and Theo. And I use you down here in the arena.
That you can.
I'm going like this. Dana.
Strategic battlements would be pretty nice.
Doris,
Palisades, things like that.
please don't inject any more stupidity in this.
No promises.
I don't promise what I'll do
Stupidity.
next then.
Or genius.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Stupidity.
Think
It
out of
really
the
is
box,
stupid.
Dana! You have a problem with
Funny
that?
how often the two coincide.
Okay, Thana, as a healer, I would like to place you in the center if we can.
You, alright. You do realize I'm not a healer, right?
I don't
You
know, you
represent
healed
the healer.
quite a bit.
Alright, I'm in the center.
Just play along for now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Indira on her left, Tide on her right. Theo up front, Aegis on the left, and I'll hold back on the right. My job is to keep their back and their flanks covered. Same with Aegis. Anything that comes head on, Theodoros, shields up. And this is it. This is how we can move. Our healers are kept central. Our ranged kept central, and our job is to keep anything that comes in out of the way and off of our ranged.
Let us mean no offense by this, but when this shit starts, formations such as this are gonna go to hell.
They will, but if there's a general consensus on area of responsibility, then call-outs will become necessary, right? Like, okay, we got some on the right.
So it's more akin to a fallback strategy rather than a
Mhm.
consistent formation.
That's right.
What we need
But the goal
is a strong battle
is what
cry.
we see here.
I got just the thing.
Wouldn't this be better for a medical triage formation than anything?
May I shoot him?
Yeah?
No.
Apologies. What? I was raising morale, Hanavitite!
Yes, and so was
okay.
I.
Ow.
Thank you, Tide.
Aggressive healing.
Thank you ever so much, Tide. You really saved his life. You really should take her these flowers.
Okay, if you will bear with me a moment, I'm going to grab the medical supplies and see if this makes sense. I'll be right back.
Ow.
Get fucked.
I thought you were married.
Who's that on a dragon back there?
I am married.
I see.
But were you trying to flirt with me?
Oh my god.
I really want to talk about something else.
Come back here.
What would that be?
They were talking about a messenger,
mind
right?
it.
You need someone to run out and go let all the houses know about what's going on.
That is not
Ow.
one point, yes.
Don't beat me up in front of my mother, Dana.
Well, I don't know
Madam,
if every
your son
one of
needs
the houses will
a
be
beating,
joining, though.
honestly.
Name of all
Not
the
every
houses
single
that
house
are.
will be,
Get a name of all the houses that are going to fight, and make sure that whoever's assigned the messenger
God,
role
I
is
don't care about your
aware of all the
formation.
locations of all the houses. I mean, that's the best bet there.
Right. So who wants to be the messenger?
I can
Who's
I
really
can do it
quick
if
on
you
their
want.
Aw.
Does anyone have any objections to that?
Objections to what, sorry?
Who's the messenger?
Kreska.
Or Kraska?
I have an objection.
No?
Go ahead, speak.
Better be a good one.
I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Well,
Look, we need to make this a bit more fun,
If
okay?
no
We have
one
so
has a
many people
problem with
here.
That, then Kraska can let everyone know that when shit goes down,
Right.
But yeah, go ahead.
When we go through with all of this and discuss this particular plan in more detail, all the house heads that are here today, we need a general consensus as
Which is writing down things to ban as they're talking. Nice.
there may still be some concerns before we move forward.
We have a spy among us.
We also do have to take into consideration
Who might
that
that
not
be?
everyone has the ears of this meeting of ours.
Typhon
There
is
will
spying on
be
us.
people guessing in the crossfire.
Yeah, I get it.
She has a hood.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
It's suspicious.
I have a suggestion to adjust that. I recommend that, if at all possible, and because I have notes on me if that's possible, to everyone write down their name that was here today. If we meet anyone that we know would be willing to fight that was not here today, if any of us
So
here
much magic flying around. If you
would
try
run
to
into
include
said person,
trebuchets,
try to
like
direct
explosives.
them
Oh
to
boy,
either
it's a
Milithos
crash
or
waiting to
Navi
happen.
Tide
Yeah.
or whoever is more of a spokesperson to can relay the plan again to those that cannot be here. Just in case.
Exactly,
we miss
Cal.
people. For
Yeah,
example,
couldn't
I
have said it
know
better
if-
myself.
Oh, I think Roman is here. Okay, so at least some of that house is. But anyone that we
crashes
see that's
but it
not
would
here
crash
today,
people. Oh yeah, yeah. Totally.
perhaps that would be a good way if we could write down somewhere who's all been here.
Who's this?
Then those that haven't, speak to those people if you run into them.
Is that Cassia? Oh yeah, might be.
Seeing on this see what he's doing right now.
Oh, and then I just want to point the obvious thing out. That this hero is not much of a help.
Why is the freaking mosquito here?
Good luck convincing Theodoros of that.
What? I wasn't listening. I heard my name.
Oh, fuck.
What a shocker.
I was summoned.
So just
Yeah,
for
shocking.
clarification's purposes, there is no consistent plan just yet. Just a bit of everyone understanding what their
That's
role
what
is,
you're rolling.
and there is
Yeah.
Or some
nothing
shit.
forthcoming as what the actual battle standard will be. Eh?
That is accurate. That is what Krixus mentioned earlier. Those houses that want to fight, they will be individually approached about actual battle formations, battle plans, how the individual houses can contribute. For now, we're just trying to get everyone on the same page, but where the roles will be assigned.
Oh!
Alright. And Kraska is going to be the courier for the messages between the houses to keep everyone informed.
Surely he should maybe have a partner, just in case.
That was another thing I was going to bring up.
Look, Theodoros is excited,
think
okay.
the courier should probably have a protector.
Well, I can
Protector
come
and
along
backup.
with you.
Just meant generally not at you, but not everyone is always available and awake, so if something happens while you're asleep, there should be at least one or two people to fall back on.
Right.
Well, I can come along with you, Kraska. I mean, I can keep up with you.
Alright.
There is something else that's...
What I mean is,
Definitely.
one single messenger is not what we should rely on. A single
Exactly,
individual messenger is...
I was going to say that, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Java. Someone else that's fast with their legs should be on the backup.
Well,
do we have anyone?
I can certainly. Yeah.
There is something else. I think everyone needs to steel themselves and prepare for the fact that everyone might not be coming back from this.
That is obvious.
I thought that's the
The
plan.
fact of the matter is, though, is that regardless, we have a job to do. We have other people that we need to protect as well as this land.
As long as it
And I
isn't
will
somewhere
not let this place
a
fall.
horn somewhere on the massive map.
I don't
Blue
think
for
any of
some
us
reason.
want that.
Like last time should be fine.
No.
And if we have to, we'll all go down fighting. But it would be an honor to die by any single one of you here.
I've never been much of a fighter, but I could say the same. I've known many of you since I first arrived here. And that, I know it's only been a few months, but This feels a lot longer than that.
So,
yeah.
This tent down here is what we are keeping in our field emergency supply kits. And if you care to give it a look, it's something like this that we can lay beds down, work on anybody that's in trouble.
I'll check it out
get
for
them
you.
away from the
Shiva.
fight.
Oh my god. Look at this angry mug.
There's a bag in there with healing potions and wraps, things like that. Additional
That's
beds.
Erin. Apparently.
Speaking of potions, should anyone need supplies for anything, let me know. I have been building a lot of stock, and I have a lot to get rid of, so to speak.
I should make some spikes.
I can also make as much stew as anyone needs.
Just gotta inspect everyone.
I will be
Done.
trying my best to repair at least 20,000.
The tavern has a lot of stew.
We also have
Oh.
stew to spare if need be.
We never
A lot
you
of
can never have
everything,
enough stew.
I
I see
Donish,
our house
Access,
20,000.
Leto.
whatever it is that you need
Zero.
for those potions you showed me the other day, let me know. I can give to you.
Don't know
Yes,
that
of
one.
course. Thank you.
They're happy. I checked
also
them all.
have one important message to relay if everyone is willing to listen to that one. It's something that's been on my mind quite often, and I'm trying to make it as clear as I want, but don't think I'm aiming at anyone directly. Most of the people that know me has known for the fact that I've been here for a very long time. At first, when I came here, I knew very little of the people here. But over time, I've got to know them. Over time, I got to listen to their stories and their problems and whatnot. The main problem I found lately is there's been a lot of poison running to these lands, to its veins, to the people.
We're just shooting
I
shit,
would ask
actually.
every
You know,
single
we're
one
just
of you
enjoying it
and anyone else
in
that
our
you
own
know,
way.
if you
It's
have
nothing
any
against the RPers
grudges,
that are
any
planning all of this.
problems, any kind of drama with anyone else, to cast this aside, think of the bigger picture, and make sure that you do everything to protect those around you, because that person that you might not like might be the person that saves one of your own that you do like. So just lay
We're
it
basically just
aside
playing soldiers, you know, and
think of the battle ahead,
trying to
steel yourself, get in
have fun
resolve,
with this war. So of
and
course it's
protect
not for
those
everyone.
that you not only care about, but also your friends. And even if you don't like them, we have a bigger enemy right now. So please, cast anything aside that you have that is poisonous. You need to be ready mentally as well.
On that note, Theodoros, you know, I'll be perfectly honest. I've never liked the fact that you were so much better kicking Persians into pits than I was. There, I said it.
Thank you. I appreciate your insecurities, and I fully respect them. Not all of us were created to kick Persians down wells like us. Maybe one day when you are reborn, you shall have that opportunity.
One can only hope.
Well, you were a battle baby after all.
Hell yeah.
So, we are coming up on this sleep, and I wanted to give anybody an opportunity to
Fox.
throw out any other ideas that they have. Any thoughts?
Thank you.
Can the opening attack be us launching Crixus with a trebuchet?
Alright, I will see you later. I'll be going back to
I second this.
So long as Theodoros is with him.
I just.
Wow.
That's what we will have a secondary trebuchet.
The only thing I will ask is that if anybody has notes, I would be happy to have notes of this meeting, you know, at the grove, you know, somebody deliver, whatever, I am going to go. That
Yeah,
is-
I was
What?
going to
Nuts?
say the same. And if you guys can do me a huge favor, I know I'm not going to be the only one that's a messenger, but I would like it if I could get a list of all the houses and locations so that I can share with the other courier as well, so we can get a general idea. Even if there's ones that aren't here that would like to participate in this combat, I need to know their locations as well, who they are. Just if need be, just leave it on our message board, and I will get to it as soon as I can.
And if you don't know where he is, F8 on your map, where the sensations was.
Can I suggest something?
Of course.
All of the healers should wear a specific color or a specific headpiece or something so that they can be differentiated from everyone else.
Actually, that's a good idea.
I vote bright white.
I would just give a fair warning. If the enemy picks up on that, they might start attacking us immediately.
Yes.
Then
Well,
it is important
then
for
it'll
you
make
to
it
think
even
on your
easier
feet.
for you to protect them.
I
I
agree.
feel as though they'll realize who's healing regardless, so.
Yep.
I do have one other question in regards to who's going to be leading these battle groups.
What do you mean?
How are we to let other
Oh,
people
look,
know?
we do not have the
And
translated
how are
properly.
we to pick, more importantly?
Be quiet, Nerium. Be quiet.
I have suggested that. What you may do
Well.
is if you get the battle groups, that's the other part you have to figure out is
Just
the battle
Argent
groups
noises.
who are in that group. But at the moment of time, the leader can also have a color, perhaps,
Make
as long as the
an
group
executive
sends them.
decision on what the healers will wear. If they don't wear it, then
White hoods.
No.
Easy. Done.
there you go.
And just so everyone remembers, I still have this. So,
oh god,
you know.
Useful.
As far as your question, Tide, about the battle group commanders, be a general consensus of it all, who the lands feel make is fit to make the right decisions and adapt correctly. It will be determined in time. It is only fair that we let the lands vote.
Alright. So, now it comes down to it. Who'll be willing to fight alongside in hopes to defeat Typhon and his small monsters and big monsters
Well,
while helping the gods.
Let's play it like this. How about we have a public board somewhere where we can put a list of the 3 specific groups and then have names listed under each. That way we're not liable to forget and we know our placement when the time comes.
That would probably be best.
Would be a prime location for that.
Indeed.
Okay, quick question. I'm just going to throw this out here. Leander, would you be willing to at least be a rally point for Highlands and North?
The Black Lotus will do that, yes.
Excellent.
Sorry about the angry.
Tide, can the Crowbar be a rally point for the deserts and the river dwellers?
And of course. I might be the only one currently active there alongside E-Peels, but I would consider it a pleasure. It's not like it's the first time it's going to have happened.
Exactly. And I know I'll nominate ourselves. We have a board. Same thing. Please feel free to, if you live in the jungles, leave a board or a message with who's willing to participate and where you're from. I'll personally collect this information and get it to Kraska and make sure that he's got the information he needs.
Right, and Belladors is going to be the backup courier, by the way. I know we were mentioning about that.
We're often together and in close contact, though, so.
Very good. All right, everybody. I really do appreciate your time today. I know that this is going to be a tough time, but
Indeed.
I have
Sorry
faith
about
in
that.
each and every one of you.
I will say one thing. Crixus, you're right. Formations will be broken up. We have no idea what sort of nightmares Typhon will bring with him. But it's important for all of us to remain malleable, to be able to respond to anything.
Malleable.
That's
Nice
exactly
word.
the point of this plan. I agree with you.
No, I have a better idea. Let's not respond to anything. Let's ignore it.
Who is going to place up the notes in Zamora then?
Tide?
I
Are you
still
game?
think we should lead it to a narrow corridor.
Alright, I'll have to keep track of that then. Nah, it's logistics nonsense. I'm sure I'll manage.
I know the nap is coming soon, but I just would like to throw this out there for those people who are don't partake to healing magic very well. What do we do in that situation? Are we gonna have designated bandage people?
As I said,
I think there's several people who can.
We have potions, we have bandages, we have every form of healing that we can do, so I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Just
You have actually several people who have already expressed that they cannot do healing magic, but they know how to apply bandages, how to stop bleeding. So we will have all kinds of healing available, basically.
Kill the Titan with knockout rocks. Hell yeah.
Again, thanks everyone. Be safe, and we'll stand together. We'll get through this.
Be sure to keep me apprised of who's going to be in which battle group. I'll try and keep track of it, and keep a notice upon the Zamora board for that matter.
I will ask around my fighters and figure out where they stand and everything like that. But
Very good.
Most
You
of
know
them
where
are
to
frontline
find me
fighters.
otherwise.
Alright.
You know what the hell I am.
Well, of course.
I obliterate everything.
Well, exactly. You didn't count my blade in.
Even my own teammates.
Care to speak after the nap, Tide?
Of course.
I have a request to make.
I'd be delighted, Leander.
Thanks you all.
Do you still have time for the preparations we talked about?
That's.
I'm
I
going
do.
to
We can do
Very
this
good.
with that after my talk with Leander.
Yeah,
Very
it won't
good.
be too long.
No worries, just wanted to make sure that that's
Alright.
Oh, I guess I should say, just in case all of us die, I'll see you all in the next life.
Oh.
Oh.
Not to think like that.
Already been
You mean
there.
Hades, right? There is no
Yeah,
such
I
thing
know,
as a
fucking
next life.
I don't.
Yeah, so
I
Tide
don't.
showed me around.
I don't have to bring
the good
all of you
places
back.
are-
I believe you'll
But
see me, but you may not recognize me.
I don't think reincarnation was introduced in ancient Greece, right? Maybe like a
Yep,
life
I'm
after
staying
death,
right here.
or in Hades. But
What do I keep? I will try.
Because you'll only fall over.
All that matters.
Good to see you again.
what's up, old man? Something in your pants? You're running all over the place.
I hope
Crazy.
yes. For Laura's sake.
Oh, a snake in your pants. I see.